Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Plenty to talk about this week, just with the typical VR news and, one of our favorite games, Ghost of Tabor even had their wipe. You'll see us rocking some nice swag of the 4VR tournament as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a review of Walkabout Mini Golf's new DLC course, Lair. So plenty on the agenda today. And beyond that, we even plan to wrap up the show with number 2 of the Shoes games. I'm curious the name that he has for it this week. It was pretty well received the first time we did it with Shoes the other week.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be good to see
Do it again. Yeah, different variation though. Something new coming.
It's not going to be the same game. And on that, I'm a little nervous of what he brings because he caught me off guard with the last one on some of these. So some have a feeling he's upped the difficulty. But like I mentioned, one of our favorite games, Ghost of Tabor, they officially had their much anticipated wipe.
Yay.
So there's a new bunker.
I was actually kind of tired of the everything unlocked. Believe it or not, it's weird because it's a cool perk. Like before the wipe, they unlock everything for a couple of days. So you have like $10 million.
Mm-hmm. All the merchants.
All the guns you could never get if you didn't level up.
Yep. To go in without a laser and a handle and a silencer is ridiculous. And drum mags because you can afford it.
Yeah. But it was like.
It was a war zone.
It was insane. Yeah. The first couple of times, it was what I thought. I found the server and it seemed like every human in it had a Barrett. And, I get it. I had one, Yeah, but it sucks if you're not in a good position to use it, you're screwed. But it's a fantastic sniper rifle.
You hear it across the map. The first time you shot it in game, you were dying laughing. It's just
it was that's what I was hoping for. When you shoot those, man, if you see videos, dude will have like the tripod mount and he's laying on the ground and he shoots it. You'll see the vibrations of the earth from the. That's a ginormous bullet, dude. And you don't walk away from that bullet.
And how about the ability to spend money? I was blown through millions because they gave you 10 million, like we said.
Yeah, I think we spent 3 million in a couple hours.
So I agree, though. I'm glad to have the wipe come, not only with the new bunker, but also just to have things a little bit more level again.
Correct.
The new bunker's sick. The layout of it's awesome. Honestly, the game feels like it's running way more smooth. Since the wipe, there's less frame rate drops.
Like some graphical improvement, functionality, quality of life improvements for sure.
Some color changes in the environment. They're like different shade of blue for the water. It feels like.
Yeah, no, I could instantly. Obviously, with the bunker itself, that's a whole new setup. And it's funny because we knew that it was. We've seen some pictures of different rooms and stuff, but to see it all put together.
Like the cash room with the stacks of money, baby.
So that new bunker is 10 times better than I actually thought it was going to be.
1,000,000%. And like, dude, you go in and it's dark. There's like red everywhere, but that's because you need to go dump in some gas and turn on the generator, and it can get bright in there too. So
yeah, I didn't know the lights when we just talked to Scott, and I knew that was going to be part of the game. I just didn't know it was going to be part of the wipe. Maybe I didn't pay attention.
No, I didn't think it was going to be so fast. The first I'd heard about it is on episode 1 of Tabor Radio, which, we're talking a bit about the wipe, but we'll save it a lot for episode 2 of Tabor Radio.
That's coming soon.
That's our new podcast that just came out last week. It's the official Ghost of Tabor podcast as well. In episode 1, we interviewed the CEO, Scott Albright, and he kind of teased some of the things that are now out in this wipe.
Oh, there's so much more coming.
But we'll
don't think I didn't try the gun tool repair thing in your armory to see if it would hold a gun yet.
Oh, and it seems like you have some stats too. I'll be real. I'm not gaining a bunch of XP. I'm going and getting murked right now.
Right. Well, and we knew that would happen once this wipe happened. All the OGs who took a little time off are now back, and they're just wrecking. Dude, we got taken out by a dude who came into the, I don't even remember if it was at the church or some shit, but he came in like SEAL Team 6 style, all creeping with the gun out. Pop, pop. Dude, that was it. We were both dead, man.
The sweats are in, and their player count is very high right now. Even when we were playing last night, I was like, I think this wipe is going to bring the game to a whole new level of popularity, just because it functions. But it is cool because
the playing field's been more evened out now since the wipe. But the skill, that doesn't change.
When we talked to Scott on episode 1 of Tabor Radio, he said wipes are going to exist throughout the whole game. You have to keep it level, and I agree with that. So definitely stay tuned for episode 2 of Tobor Radio. If you haven't checked out episode 1 yet, that was a great interview we had with Scott. And like we said on that episode, we'll be interviewing different members of the team. We'll kind of do the merry-go-round of team interviews. So definitely go subscribe to that. Check out episode 1 and stay tuned for episode 2, where we'll talk a little bit more about the wipe and maybe what else is coming next. But beyond that, I saw a game tease that it's coming out later this year, and it instantly had one of those too good to be true in, hype and expectation. And it's called VRSO, Bare Knuckle Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, as it sounds, it's a bare knuckle boxing game. It's made by developers Monologic Games. It's supposed to come out later this year. It's going to be available on Steam VR, PSVR, and Quest VR. And they said that the screenshots that they showed were from the Quest, and people were like, "Oh, I don't believe it." Of course, you used the example off air of like, "Hey, you showed somebody real VR fishing. They're not going to believe it, if it wasn't out yet, that was going to be the Quest graphic." So who knows? But this game looks freaking good. As a boxing fan, obviously bare knuckle boxing is by no means traditional sport boxing, Olympic level or anything like that. But it'll be cool with the way it's looking. It looks like there's going to be single player, multiplayer, a training mode. I don't know if there's going to be a career or anything, but there's going to be a single player mode. So let's see the visuals they showed. There's a lot of like facial damage and just seemed a little too good to be true, but stay tuned for later this year when that actually comes out. And then another one that was announced to be coming later this year, a Titanic game. Let me get the correct name on it. It's called Titanic: A Space Between. It's coming out later this year. That's another one that they showed a trailer, and the graphics that they showed on it were from the Quest 2, and they're tight, crisp, really, really solid looking.
I'm excited for it. Although I could see where one might get that little claustrophobic feel if you look at the trailer and see you're in a freaking hallway in a boat that is sinking.
And it's not that you play as a passenger that boarded on there per se. It seems like the concept is that you were sent back in time to investigate what happened to a passenger named Diana that might or might not have been lost on board.
She died.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume she died. If you didn't hear about her post Titanic, she dead.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm sure you'll find out more the significance of Diana. You go in and try to see if what happened, but unfortunately something goes wrong, and it seems that you land 24 hours late on the Titanic than you had meant to. So 24 hours later than you had meant to, that ship is already sinking. So it was not your intention on this mission to be a part of the ship actually going down, but traveling back in time, that's probably some tricky technology. You landed just 24 hours too late, but holy moly, that's dire mistake. So the game looks fun. I agree. I don't know if it's going to be like a puzzle game, a horror game, just a story-based game. By horror, I don't mean like things jumping out and scaring you. I just mean in like...
Although at the end of it, there was some sort of monster type thing happening.
I agree, and I don't know if that means combat or just survive and scare the bejeez out of you, but...
I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely a little interesting teaser at the end.
Didn't expect that.
No, not by any means. And this is that studio's first, the one that's making Titanic. The name slips my head real quick, but it's their first venture into VR game development as well. And damn, it looks like an impressive showing.
Graphically, it looks pretty amazing, I would say. We'll see how it plays out, though.
The timing couldn't be better.
I'm anxious to try it.
I mean, they didn't start making it just with the recent Titanic news.
No.
Games take years.
Make that thing in a month.
Yeah, games take years, but holy moly, could they have made better timing with the recent, Titanic submarine incident and everything like that? It just seems so...
Netflix took shit for dropping Titanic like the week during or some shit. But even though that's pre-scheduled.
Yeah, same thing as this.
Ago.
It's like it's not like that they saw that news and were like, all right, now let's make a Titanic game. Obviously, this was in the works for years, but yeah, the timing is top notch. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely curious to check that out. And on new game updates, dude, it's just perfect timing.
I don't know, somebody's probably gonna make a simulator of what happened.
Oh, in the submarine?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We'll see it on side quest someday.
Most definitely.
And Aspire too. We had talked with the creator of it, Michael. We talked with him
Wicked cool, dude.
yeah,
Wicked cool.
gentleman from down under, from Aussie.
Hey, mate.
He's a wicked cool guy.
He's got the smoothest accent.
Yeah, it was perfect. It could have been he should get into voice acting because he could have been an NPC character in a game. It was
Probably is.
Yeah, it was just that tight. But Aspire 2 just came out with an update, and it's something that he teased in that interview, which is new challenges, a leaderboard, and it's coming to Pico 4 now. It's out.
Which is great because it'll get in more people's hands.
That was something that he said that he felt like he went too far the opposite direction, where Aspire 1 they released on too many consoles at launch, and then Aspire 2 they went just Quest 2, and he goes, oh, maybe should have done two or three, But Pico 4, that's now another market. Hopefully one day we'll see that on PlayStation VR as well, and Steam VR.
I can see that definitely happening.
Yeah, so it's cool how honest he was with the learning experiences of.
But he adapts. So
yeah, I bet
he obviously learned the first time, and decided to go the complete opposite spectrum of how to do the release, and then or what to release it on, and this next time he does something, it'll be that perfect middle ground.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's how you learn, and I like when developers are transparent and upfront.
And it's still so new. It's unless you're really tied in deep with different developer groups, it's
how do you know?
How do you know, and then how do you know who's telling you that necessarily what's going to work for you? Because a lot of occasions, what works for one person can't work for another. But I think I'll agree with Scott probably more than anything with it comes down to marketing. You got to be able to market. And if you can't market your game, then no matter how well it is or what, people aren't going to necessarily find it.
100%. But wicked cool to see that out, and I can't wait to see his mixed reality game mode hit, when the Quest 3 comes out.
I'll play anything that he has something to do with.
I feel like when the Quest 3 drops and, color pass-through is in so many more people's hands than it is in the Quest Pro right now.
Game changer.
I feel like developers have so much ready to go that they're just pulling the trigger on, or just waiting to pull the trigger on. I was even talking off air with you. It's why would you release the game now knowing the Quest 3 is coming out in 4 months or whatever, 3 months, 4 months, whatever amount of time it is? I think that's why there's kind of a slow, we had a whole bunch of releases at the start of the year and it slowed down a bit. And I think it's because, if I was a developer myself about to release a game, I'd go, I'll wait a couple more months.
Yeah, if you're only months away, then I get it.
So I think when that Quest 3 drops, not only are we going to see a bunch of game updates that have been waiting, a bunch of new games, we're going to see these mixed reality features or new games just also flood.
For the mixed reality, I would say, it's probably the smartest move to hold back your experience until the Quest 3. But
like Ruth Goldberg,
if you have a game that will function visually fine on the Quest 2 and you're holding off for the Quest 3, then, your game better be fucking damn good.
Why? Because the amount of releases that are going to come out at that time?
Well, and you still have quite a large audience of Quest 2 users, regardless of the fact that the Quest 3 is coming out. So it's
well, that's something we go back to.
Don't get dirty with it.
When we interviewed Chris Pruitt a little over a year ago now, he had said the reality is even when a new headset comes out, the day it comes out, the second it comes out, its user base is zero. Whether that's for an hour or a day and then people buy it. But at release, it's 0 people own it.
Yep.
And 20 million people own the other one. So you still
20 million and growing.
Yeah, you still have to support that old one. And then after
it would just if the games choose to come out, following the Quest 3 release, then I'm just saying they better be top-notch games, because otherwise, you shot yourself in the foot with.
Yeah, that's an opposite side perspective. But
because I look at it as opportunity. So if you've got 2-3 months where people are holding back their game, then especially if it's a game that if you can establish a player base, you're screwed. Your people are going to drop games and they're going to be like, you can't do it.
there's no way this happens because we know the game's still in early access, beta, still, but like Ghost of Tabor comes out at Quest 3 launch. Like, good luck. Good luck. You're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, dude. There's for the Quest 3 user, yeah, a lot of the new users going to be all over that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could totally see getting a new headset just because of that game, because you want better. You want the super duper resolutions, and
I'm curious what Meta has in store for the Quest 3 because, like, with Quest 2, a big game that dropped with the Quest 2 that was like supposed to be not a killer app for it, but kind of a selling point of the new Quest 2 that also functioned on the Quest 1 as well. Still was Population 1. That was a game ready to go with the Quest 2. I wonder what they got in store for
Beat Saber.
For Quest.
For
Quest 3.
No bullshit. They easily could.
No, I think we'll see a couple things up their sleeve at the Connect. A couple unexpected ones. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, obviously, I could, the holy grail of it would be
dare
GTA,
we even say?
Yeah. Although, I'm thinking Dead Project still.
At this point, I'd rather be proven wrong that it's dead than have my hopes up and be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I got over it weeks ago.
But I'll still go back crawling to it with hope the second there's any showcase or potential big announcement. There'll always be that little part of me that goes, maybe.
Well, I'll be real over it when the new GTA comes for Xbox. So you won't hear a peep out of me about the VR shit.
So another game that we love.
GTA can stay away from VR for at least, another half a year to a year.
Another game that we love, Real VR Fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a great job, not only being one of the top graphical games on the Quest, like
for photographic, yeah.
Yeah, the environment, even your hands though, like the character models of your hands and stuff like that, and the fishing rods and the fish themselves are good. And yes, the environment is like photorealism type graphics. It's hard to beat that type of graphics when you don't have to interact with it. You couldn't really do that for a shoot like a Breachers,
not yet.
It works great for
someday.
Real VR Fishing. The game is really good. It's fun. It's got social elements. Again, they've done great adding new DLCs. Now they have their East Coast DLC. It came out that they're going to be working on a complete edition, which adds, a journey mode to the East Coast DLC, and they say hopefully it'll expand to the other prior existing locations as well. But they said there's a good chance that East Coast will be the last DLC. It might not be. They'll continue to support the game. They're not abandoning it, but they're ready to call the game complete, as evidenced with Complete Edition, and move on to their next project, which is fair. The game's been around and supported for so many years.
Yeah, I mean, they've done good at what they did, and I get it. I mean,
they're not closing
I'm actually more looking forward to what they might be working on next than, any shock value that. But there's plenty of content in it. So, I mean, for what it is, it's a fishing game at the end of the day. And
yeah, they have multiple countries.
Yeah, they just do it really, 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 really well for that. Like if they were to do a hunting simulator, come on, it would be damn good.
I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, they're doing it perfect. That the game's still going to be supported. It's not abandoned. You can still log in and play and all that shit. But yeah, how is there not a great hunting game on the Quest yet? Like I thought that would be something that was there the day I bought my Quest, and nobody even has, not even a great one. There's no hunting game in the woods like that with guns, and hunting games are.
I know it's weird because like hunting games may piss some people off because of what it is you're doing. But the same
so many
people
of
are
them.
Not as vocal about games where you're hunting human. So it's just funny, But
It's
at
a
the end of the
video
day,
game,
it's like you didn't get pissed off at Duck Hunt, did you?
No, but there's so many hunting games on consoles and flat screen. They always come out.
I have a bunch.
And it's just weird that we don't have one in VR. That's something that they would crush.
Mm-hmm. If they use that same photorealism and somehow figured out how you could walk through it and shit, then...
And hunting games typically have been fun when well executed, where you have to get the money from the hunts to buy new equipment, new lures, new bait, it's
new guns, new everything.
New guns, yeah. It has a lot of potential to be
new
really
calls.
well done, yeah.
Yeah.
I've even seen some
Well,
multiplayer ones.
They have it right now. It's called Ghost of Tabor.
It's human hunting, like you said.
Because you can make calls. People will come.
Mm-hmm. We've told people to surrender and everything like that. I felt bad. Somebody came in.
You can rob people.
Somebody came in yelling that they were friendly last night, and I was so trigger happy. I shot him in the head one shot. I was like,
I was pretty bummed about that.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Like he came in with full intent of not causing any harm.
Came in yelling, it's too late. My finger's going, you know. I didn't believe him either. He shot right before he came in. He goes, "Oh, I accidentally shot myself."
He did shoot himself because I heard it.
He shot doesn't mean he shot himself.
I think I heard him.
What grunt?
Like the sound, like if someone.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Well,
I'm suspicious. I'll justify it. He came in to kill me. I killed him first. I don't care what he said.
He wasn't killing shit.
But
I think that they should have a white flag.
Yeah, just throwing a white flag.
But if you pull it out, your weapons don't work.
So you can't be.
Yeah, so you can't be like, haha.
Well, because, dude, I've seen people do the whole "I'm friendly" thing, and then they're not.
Dude, I've been victim to it.
So
I got shot in the freaking face.
So I don't believe it 1 second.
We were both like had our hands in the air and shit. I'm like, okay, cool. We were just passing by, and then I like turned my head for a second, and I turned back, and pow. Like, you motherfucker. But I can't be upset about it because, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I guess
these are the chances you take.
Hey, I never told the guy I was friendly too. I never even responded.
No. We were in party chat. We were avoiding the
did it in the bunker. Audio. I love those bunkers. But Meta also, and kind of cool news, they put out a free demo app on App Lab called Discover, which features 2 demo apps, and it's used. Anybody can download it.
So real quick, to anybody that gets upset that their game gets put on App Lab,
that's where Meta puts their own stuff.
Meta puts their own shit on App Lab.
Makes it start there. Yeah. That's where the Roblox beta is going to start.
You get no pull just because get with everyone else.
Yeah, you got to prove that.
It's actually kind of cool they're doing that though.
Yeah, but it's a demo that anybody can download. I can download it. You can download it.
No way.
Yeah, anybody can download it.
I don't download demos anymore because they always stay in your visual shit.
Yeah, I'll grab this one because it seems pretty cool, but it's mostly marketed towards developers to show them the potential of new features like spatial audio, shared multiplayer location, mixed reality. So it features 2 demos. One's putting together a bike or like changing parts on a bike in mixed reality. So that's pretty cool to show some like interactability with mixed reality. And then the other one's pretty much a mixed reality space pirate trainer is how Upload VR described it. And it looks like it uses your Meta avatar, and you can do it multiplayer in co-location. So like both in the same room playing together. That's pretty cool. Like I want to try that out next weekend when you come over. Bring over,
It's cool. Go in and fix a mountain bike that's not really there.
Well, no, I'm talking the spatial or the space pirate trainer one.
Oh, that one's kind of cool.
In co-location multiplayer, both in the same room. Playing it with meta avatars, bro.
The best function in the world for mixed reality. Ready for this? I'm gonna blow your mind right now. So you open the hood of your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've already told the system this is the car I own. You own a Porsche? What was it? 911 you own? I'm just kidding.
I own a RAV4.
I know. I'm just busting balls.
Good old Toyota.
So, anyways, you open the hood to your Toyota. You look at it with your headset. It already knows how the engine is laid out. And you're like, I need to change my timing belt. Never done that before. How do I do it? I don't know. So it tells you using mixed reality, like this is the first bolt you take off, like highlights it on your engine.
Mm-hmm.
And then in real time, you take it off while still wearing the headset. So you're just basically following the directions of where the light pops up.
I don't think we're there with the technology yet, but I think that's an inevitable.
I don't think we're too far off, though, dude.
Not with the way that these mofos are pumping out improvements in headsets and in software of it. You look at something like hand tracking that's improved so much.
Imagine being able to do like emergency, bush surgery by just popping on a headset and looking at the person's arm.
Oh, you could
be like, okay, this is what you need to do first.
At the bare minimum, you could do it with stitching. To stitch?
Mm-hmm.
You could absolutely do it at the bare minimum. Maybe more advanced than that might get complicated, but you could teach.
What do you think?
Like, well, it's.
But we're talking emergency situation. This isn't like a.
sealing a
you
wound.
could go to a.
Yeah, you could absolutely learn how to emergency seal a wound.
You can do that with super glue too.
I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it.
You got to sometimes,
Stings a little, but
that's what the original use of
super glue was.
That's
for.
why it was invented. Just happens to be good for other shit too.
Just don't do it every day.
No, it's for like, hey, you don't really want to go to the hospital for stitches, and you don't have stitches at home, but you need this wound sealed. It's a little bit not ideal to leave it open. Well,
yeah, a little super glue.
Never hurt nobody.
No, it does work. But when I see mixed reality, and like I saw the mountain bike, I was like, well, if that was really your mountain bike, and it was like, we're going to change your disc brakes off it, this is how, and it did like the same thing I was saying for the mechanic, whatever. I think that's such a practical.
Well,
dude, you could do anything.
Dude, this is just a demo and it loads in a pre-selected one. But imagine if somebody dedicated an app just to that. I don't know if we're at the point it can yet, but it's obviously. I agree with you. We're close. We're real close.
Yep.
So
you can be able to, a whole bunch of do-it-yourself shit real quick.
And I had kind of referenced, like look at the improvements of how quickly things have improved with like hand tracking. That when we got our headset was hand tracking 1.0.
It sucked.
It wasn't terrible.
It was bad. Dude, it was bad. I wouldn't use it for games that had hand tracking because it was that bad.
Yeah, it was less than ideal.
And we learned all the tips like, hey, wear bright white gloves and make sure you got bright light above you. And
then I remember
still poop.
They upgraded to 1 point something, and it got noticeably better. And like Unplugged VR came out at that version, and it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of potential. This is doable,
It worked well with Unplugged.
Maybe it's not 100%, but it's damn close enough that this is a fun experience. And you saw like Cubism incorporate well and stuff like that. And then they rolled out hand tracking 2.0, which is where we've been for quite a bit.
Which actually works really good.
Really good. Like especially in comparison to 1.0, it's like the fact that the jump from 1.0 to 2.0 was no hardware.
1.0 was like if you were trying to write your name with mittens, and 2.0 was like being given those really tight leather gloves to put on.
And none of that was hardware improvement. That was all software improvement. That's pretty cool. And now with the upcoming Quest version 56 update, we're getting, ready, drum roll please.
Even though 55 is still rolling out.
Yeah. I feel like the more users there are, obviously, the slower the rollout is.
Just came out.
For some people, I see people on Reddit like, when am I going to get 55? So, in 56, so we're getting hand tracking 2.2, which somebody might laugh, the jump from 2.0 to 2.2. But again, when we reference the jump from 1 to 1 point whatever, it's significant. And from what I've heard of people who've used it, yeah, it's good. There's like a boxing demo that they include in it. And it's like the fact that it can track boxing punches with hand tracking is so impressive from where we started.
A good sale for that would be a professional boxer doing speed jabs.
Yeah,
to see if it could keep up.
That's something that they tout a lot about it, is that its ability to track fast movement. Because you remember
if it can keep up with a professional boxer, it'll have no problem. And they could just take any random professional boxer.
Floyd Mayweather out there pumping a jab. Good luck.
Right.
It's like, dude, it didn't even move. But before, if you used your hand tracking, you could see if you opened your hands open and closed too fast or swung your hands too fast, you would see it lose. It would skip. But from everything I've seen, I've seen people whipping their hands around. It looks tight, and their prediction technology is good, because it's definitely not seeing it 100% of the time, but it's just very accurate prediction.
Are they wearing Pro headsets?
I've seen some people wearing Pro, and I've seen some people wearing Quest
2. Okay.
So obviously the Pro, I imagine the Pro is a little tighter on tracking, right? That's just always been my impression.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you put the word Pro in it not be?
I would assume the Quest 3 is going to be better on tracking, so
I agree.
It would make sense.
I mean, the Quest 3, they're not even
We know the controllers for the Quest Pro are shit.
They're ringless. For the Quest 3, I mean, they're ringless, and it's all AI tracking prediction technology on it.
Just the controllers for the Pro are...
Yeah, the Pro ones each have their own computer.
Buy them now.
Yeah, because the rumor is, I guess we should just move to that.
I don't think that'll kill the controllers, though.
No. Well, why don't I finish up on version 56 real quick? Also, besides hand tracking 2.2, they're also bringing back Facebook live streaming directly from the device.
Which is a good move.
that existed when we bought our headsets.
Mm-hmm.
And it was glitchy. With Pop 1, 9 times out of 10, the sound would cut out. It would happen with some other games. And it wasn't the most fleshed out. You didn't know how many people were watching. There was no feedback, anything like that. Now, in this revamped launch, not only can you live stream again, but you'll also get a persistent panel on your screen that shows the total amount of viewers with a live chat. So that's huge. You'll be able to engage with people that join your live stream and are commenting instead of needing to go crazy and do some OBS setup that requires PC VR because you can't do that natively on the Quest 2. And it's a mess. Or you have somebody reading them off to you. That's a mess. Now it's just going to be right on your screen. That's huge.
Yeah, and there's a lot of players who are driven by the suggestion of the people watching. So that's an area that they just haven't been able to really successfully do. You literally have to call the shots yourself. You can read the comments after, but
some of the biggest complaints about the Quest 2 have come from content creators and content creation with live streaming and capturing. And we've seen some improvements where now you can go into the camera settings, make shit landscape, different resolution, different bit rates, do at your own discretion. But I record mine in landscape now. It's great. But the live streaming is definitely still lacking, especially when they own Facebook platform too, and they have Facebook gaming. Well, it just makes no sense to not have that type of integration. So to see that coming back, new and improved, is great. I'm excited for that.
They'll do it for until about 4 months after the Quest 3 releases, and then they'll pull it again. Well, when the Quest 4 comes out, they'll put it back for 6 months. And
might have to live stream some Tabor runs, but not if they've been going how they went the last couple of days. But we'll get our mojo back, and we'll hit it strong.
I don't even care. I'm still having fun.
So I got to give a big shout out to this too, because we kind of mentioned this at the start, but glossed right over it. We talked about it the last couple of weeks. We talked about it when I lost. We talked about it last week when you lost, but we partook in a 4VR bowling tournament. Content creators. It was 16 people. I made it to the quarterfinals. You made it to the semifinals. Lost to long boy Skiva over there with arms halfway down the alley. No, he had a hell of a roll.
Yeah, no, his arms didn't go down.
No, it wasn't a factor.
No,
but
no,
his
30-mile-an-hour fucking bowling pitch was the factor.
Absolutely.
That man can throw a bowling ball.
He's my pick to win it, no doubt. Yeah. But 4VR, true to their word, sent out these awesome bowling shirts. You've been calling it the 2.5 man Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I feel like Charlie. I just want to get some prostitutes, and
some tiger blood and all that.
Tiger blood.
But look at this, dude.
Pick fights with people who pay my salary.
It says our content creator name. So mine says D Scruffles on it. Yours says Stratus on it. It says 4VR in the back. It's freaking tight. It's
a great bowling shirt. It's not like a t-shirt. It's a legit bowling shirt.
It's got a little weight on it, but a lot of air goes through it too. So although heavy,
it's a bowling shirt.
Yeah, it keeps you light. I like it a lot, and I like that it says D Scruffles on it. It's freaking badass. So we got a couple more things to talk about. Let's take a quick ad break though. Message from the sponsors. You got to hear from Manscaped for a moment. But real quick before that, I always like to plug the Discord and the YouTube. YouTube is where you could actually see us wearing this 4VR t-shirt. So some pretty cool stuff there.
You got a really good imagination. You could probably figure it out.
Well, I think we did a good job describing. We said the Charlie Sheen 2.5 man shirt. Somebody's gonna get the right visual. But you can go to YouTube and see it, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, all that stuff. We're trying to grow our YouTube, trying to improve our watch time, our subscriber count, all that fun stuff. So go subscribe on YouTube. Also, be sure to go check out our Discord server. Our Discord server is awesome. It grows every week. Bunch of cool VR conversation, bunch of cool live conversation, game meetups. Our moderator team does a great job, as well as the people that are just in there kind of engaging, talking about life every day. So go check out our Discord. The link for that's in our show notes, our episode description. Also, go check out our Patreon server, a way for you to help support the show, as well as get some cool exclusive listener perks like access to an exclusive chat room in our Discord server. You can also get an on-air shout-out every week, your name across the bottom of a ticker, whole bunch of cool stuff. And for the people in our Discord server, our Patreon one, our Discord chat, we generally, throw out like questions or like a Google form if you want us to ask an upcoming guest a question. We ask people their feedback, you don't get to pick every direction of the show, but there's times that we need some feedback, and you're the people that we go to for that. So go check that out. The link for that's in our show notes. And on that, I want to give a quick shout out to the following Patreon members: Crispy, Jake, Earth Witness, Amelia, and Shoes. Thank you all for your support. And you too, if you're not on the Patreon yet and the Discord, the YouTube, go check out all that stuff. And we'll be back with you in just a moment with some more news and then a Walkabout mini golf review.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to unleash the beach beast within you. This summer, Manscaped is here to help you level up your beach game with their new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. They're going past waist deep in the grooming game and diving in head first into your facial hair fantasies. The Beard Hedger is a game changer, allowing you to shape your beard like a true beach babe. So this summer, let the beach balls bounce and turn heads all over the place. Visit manscaped.com and use the code word RuffTalkVR for 20% off and free shipping. It's time to tame your mane. So say goodbye to all your stubble trouble with Manscaped's Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave in the shower to avoid all the hair in the sink. The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency. That brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Pro Kit doesn't even end there, though. They've created 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. First, there's the beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember all your hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair in your head. That's why the kit has made shampoo and conditioner specifically designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, replace natural oils, and promote beard health. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. This helps relieve dryness both on the beard and under the skin beneath, while adding a little shimmer and shine. Cap off the kit with the Beard Balm, pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look to attract any fellows or dames. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and be sure to use the code word RuffTalkVR. Manscaped Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths.
This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my 2 personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. So, last couple things, we almost went into it right before the break. Oh man, I actually kind of forgot to mention on version 56, they also added like button remapping on the controller, as well as swipe typing on the chat, like you can do on your phone keyboards, but you can do it with hand tracking. That's freaking cool, especially with the new 2.2 hand tracking. Then they added live captions to be automatically generated for media content and hoping to expand it system-wide. So, version 56, plenty of cool stuff. But yeah, a report came out that Meta is reportedly cutting the Quest Pro production and scrubbed a Quest Pro 2. To which Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth, who always does these Ask Me Anythings on Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff, probably Threads one day soon, he kind of responded to it and did he didn't debunk that they're killing the Quest Pro production, but he did debunk that they're killing off the Quest Pro 2. He's like, basically, we're always killing off prototypes. There's a bunch of prototypes. Only one can survive, only one makes it to production. So he goes, oftentimes when these reports come out, it's from the person that had their prototype killed or whatever. But he didn't discount that he didn't say that the Quest Pro 2 is never going to come, but he also didn't discount that the production of the Quest Pro was seized, you know. But hey, maybe they ordered it at start 2 million and they're like, fuck no, we'll never hit that, so we're good, you know. Who knows the behind the scenes of it.
I don't think they need a Pro 2. If they're chasing the technology, they might be a little behind what a higher end headset you can get for the money, but they're going to get there regardless. And then basically you reach a point. I'll use like Sony and Microsoft where it's like, let's be honest, you know, either console is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Either console is going to run great. You're going to have best graphics you've ever seen in your life, you know. So we're going to reach that point with headsets where it's just going to come down to personal, for the ones that keep them affordable.
Well, it's funny, you know, we actually disagreed on what I'm about to say a bit off air, but I'll agree that, I mean, hey, that you go with what's your best seller, and it's the Quest consumer line. That's the one that sold 20 million, not the Pro. But I think if they came out with a Pro post Apple announcement, the general consensus on the price and the cost for what you get would have been better well received than, you know, it was at the launch. And I actually think the announcement of the Quest, of the Vision Pro, of the Apple Vision Pro, kind of revitalized some interest in a Pro line that was not there prior to that Apple announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick to my thing and just be like, they don't need a Pro 2 or Pro 3. And it's like, I mean, I think the leap, if you look at like Quest 1 to Quest 3, is going to be like, holy shit, you know, and I never thought it could look this good and function so well. And you're going to be able to play games that are, you know, probably like 100 gigs. And
well, I think what's going to happen is prior to the
I think it's going to catch up.
I think prior to the Apple announcement, that people would have been like, no, I am not spending, you know, $600 or more dollars extra for just face and eye tracking. It's not worth it. Whereas now, with the Apple Vision Pro, for $3,500, there's going to be people that go, well, shit, the only thing that the Apple Vision Pro is doing that the Quest doesn't do is eye tracking. And I mean, like, hell, I'll pay $600 more for face and eye tracking. So,
no, and the Pro doesn't do the whole facial scan, does it? Like the
avatars?
Apple, like the Apple Pro will, yeah.
That's not necessarily...
Or not Apple Pro.
The Vision Pro.
Yeah,
I know
Pro.
what you meant. We're going to hear
that fucking fruit headset coming out.
Until it actually comes out, it's been out for a couple of years, we're going to hear so many quick verbal blunders on name of calling it Apple Pro or the
AVP.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's what I'm going to call it. It's the AVP.
Yeah, Alien versus Predator?
Nah, bro. Apple Vision Pro.
I don't think that those avatars that they showed off are anything more than conceptual. And when you look at,
I don't know.
Meta has their codec avatars that they showed off that are just as good as those Apple ones. And those aren't ready to go yet either. It's just these like hypothetical things that,
Well, you can't buy the Apple headset either, so
yeah, right. And let's see. I mean, there's even talk
and
that
when you do, you're going to need to hire private security to go pick the thing up.
I've heard rumor that you know how they're going to show the face through the headset.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard rumor that like everybody that tried it, like that mode was deactivated, and not exactly sure if it's ready to even go yet. If that was anything more than
I want the big alien eyes.
yeah. Can I set a custom one?
I want alien eyes.
So I actually think prior to the Vision Pro announcement, people were like, no, I'm not paying extra just for those features, where now it's going to be like, whoa. Yeah, I want a Pro line where I only need to pay $600 more. Then it does everything, you know, that the Vision Pro does. So I think that the Vision Pro actually, in my opinion, created more of an interest for a Pro line that people couldn't justify it before. But now
an affordable Pro line.
Yes.
Not the same price.
Well, now you look at what the Pro, I think they learned their lesson with the first Pro. 1,400 was too much, at least at that time. Maybe it wouldn't be as much of a shocker these days. You know, the Pro is what, $999 now? That's a great price. If they did a Pro 2 for $1,000 to $1,100, and you have the Vision Pro on the market as well, I think that there's going to be a market for that. But it's not me. You know, I'm the gamer.
I mean, sometimes I think they move in ways that are just ahead of the time they should be in to be doing them. Like
I think the Quest Pro was,
because they marketed the whole Pro as like this is for business and stuff, right? This is, you're going to get your work done in here. The reality is people want to play fucking games. Okay. And you sold 20 million headsets for people to play games, have social experiences, you know, create worlds. And there is like, you know, workrooms and other business applications. They just need to integrate it, but stop lying that all these industries are hiring VR headset wearing employees, because they're not. I haven't personally seen one that like you show up to work and they're like, here's your desk and here's your state of the art headset so you can accomplish all of the spreadsheets. And
well, what's weird about their marketing direction on it is they've never once said that the hardware and software is ready to work in all day, every day.
yeah,
But then you release a headset that's marketed as
to work.
professional.
Yeah. So it's like, I think at the end of the day, people are like, well, cut the shit.
Make us games.
Make us damn good games.
Which they're doing.
And headsets to put on them.
Well, we see that with
we're good. You know, I mean, and then down the road, like, you know, a decade from now.
We even talked about it last week, that the reports with the Apple Vision Pro, people like, yeah, you can't work in that all day.
I think they just get excited sometimes at knowing that like you can do it versus do we need to be doing it now? And in a lot of instances, we don't. In a lot of industries, yeah, they are probably behind the 8 ball and should have been doing it. But, you know, I don't see all these mass companies just running to the...
No, you see companies doing training in VR, you know, specific uses of it, but not the whole job. I think that's...
No, and not enough companies either.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
agree.
mean...
And again, like you
but
said...
it will get there. It just, you know... For now,
keep pumping out the games.
Make the game headsets and make them damn good and make them better every time you come out with a new one. And guess what? You're going to sell 20, 30 million every time you do.
Oh, dude, I'm so freaking hyped for the Quest 3.
Oh, it's not even funny.
Every time we put on our headset, pancake lenses.
Imagine living down the street from like their corporate.
And, you know, we hear it's more powerful.
I would try to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to pick up that headset.
I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know with sponsors. I don't know what we're going to do because PAX is right there too. But we got to find a way to GDC this year because I heard nothing but great things last year.
Yeah.
Especially with Meta's presence.
I was bummed we couldn't do it.
But dude, it's like you hear that the Quest 3 is more powerful, but it's like, well, what's more powerful? Especially with the lenses. What does this look like? Like I need to experience it. I'm so freaking hyped. And on that, Meta even is upgrading their spatial audio. You know, this is for the real fanatics here. It's like they're just modifying the way their inner workings of their spatial audio work to be even better. It kind of does like a not pre-rendered, but an estimate of what the average user's like ear location is on their head to better project the spatial audio. Real complicated stuff, but
oh, the result's gonna be freaking awesome to the studios that utilize it.
Like Among Us.
Just too many to name. I really don't want to single anyone out.
Spatial audio that's the way to go for VR. It makes
works,
sense.
When it works really well.
And if they're improving the system of it, I mean that's huge. A couple more pieces of news, then we'll go over into our thoughts on Walkabout. Meta has kind of like a generative AI learning system called Llama. It's LLAMA. And it's still early in development, relatively speaking. You know, it's not on the ChatGPT level yet, but theoretically it has the potential to get there one day. They say it's open source. Not really open source. You got to like apply for it. And
it's open source with permission.
It's open source to academics and professionals. If you can submit your professional work or your academic work, then you can get access to it. But it's not like ChatGPT where you just go on a web browser and use it. But Qualcomm came out and said that they're working to one day have Llama running to the average user accessible on the Quest headsets. So you could pop on your headset and use Llama generative AI for whatever you want, you know? That's wild.
Boom, chicka, bow, bow.
That's wild. You know, the word is that the Quest 3 is going to have the new Snapdragon processor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's confirmed
from Qualcomm. So it's like Qualcomm is so important for standalone VR right now, and it's stuff like that. Their partnership with Meta, it moves the industry forward. The fact that they're making chips specially designed for XR, and they're leading that market. It's like I can't state enough how huge Qualcomm is in this whole puzzle. You know, they're a rather large piece.
They lucked out. I mean, at the end of the day, because I mean, It's not like there were half a dozen companies jumping up and down going, check this out, check out our chipsets.
No, the first Snapdragon chip is what allowed the Quest to even come out. And then all of a sudden the Gen 2 came out, and that's why like, oh my God, we got to make a Quest 2 a year later. But I bet you when they started research and development on that first Snapdragon chip, because it doesn't happen overnight, I bet you people called them crazy. Like, you're investing you're investing money into research and development for standalone VR. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? They probably had some pushback on it, but now look at them. They're geniuses for it. So very grateful that they pushed on to that as the consumer. It's quite cool to see what Qualcomm puts together. And then last little piece of news, a game that had a demo out on App Lab forever, and people loved it. It's always been one of the top App Lab games when people make lists and stuff like that. It's T for God, and it's coming out now with a full release on the Quest and PC VR at $19.99. It's pretty much a procedurally generated game that lets you set how difficult you want it to be, you know, just a nice stroll or some combat. It's not something that I've checked out a whole bunch or anything like that, but with full release, I think now might be a good time for it for sure. So huge props to T for God for going from their demo to finally out on full release for Quest and PC VR. So we'll get into our Walkabout mini golf thoughts and such on their new course, their Laser Lair course. I just kind of wanted to take a quick moment to say, if you haven't yet voted for us for the podcast awards, please do. You know, we talked about that the last couple of weeks. It's the People's Choice Podcast Awards. It's an annual podcast award. You know, we were nominated last year. We made it to the final slate. We didn't win the whole thing, but making it to the final slate is pretty cool. And we're on the list of nominees again this year, but the final slate's not out. And voting for the final slate ends at the end of this month. So this is the last week to vote for us. If you haven't yet, be sure to visit the link in our show notes to click the podcast awards and vote for us both in the Adam Curry People's Choice Awards and, more importantly, the Best Leisure Podcast. That's the category that we're nominated for. So go nominate us there. Hopefully we're on the final slate. And, you know, like I said, we struck out last year at the finals, but maybe we'll win it this year with your help. So definitely go vote for us there. And don't forget, we do have a gaming showcase coming up in February. I'm going to keep teasing this. At the start of August, we're going to upload a web page that's going to have an application for developers, application for sponsors, application for hardware manufacturers to maybe show off some stuff. So stay tuned for February. You know, we have a very busy start of 2024 for sure. So Walkabout Mini Golf Laser Lair, another course that's just absolutely a home run. You know, you talked about it last time. You're never gonna say the best or better than. It's there's too many to say at this point. But this is another example of Walkabout bringing new gameplay elements, stunning aesthetics, and just an overall home run.
Yeah, they're the masters at what they do. I mean, they're gonna be able to pick our little review of this apart and grab probably 1,000 sound bites that they can use at their leisure. Because and you're right, I don't have a favorite, and I still to this day don't. But I find this one currently.
Oh my goodness,
to be my new go-to. You know,
it's so much fun.
It's a fun challenge. It's not impossible to get holes in ones on some of the holes. Some of them, screw you. You're never getting a hole in one, but I know someone will.
I would actually not use the word some. I'd say a lot of those holes have hole in one potential, even on the hard mode.
They do, but good luck. You know, I mean, if you really sit there and hammer it, I'm sure you could figure something out. But
single player practice mode, redoing the shot, you know?
I've come to the point where I'd be more impressed if they put out something that didn't crush it than the fact that, you know, everything they put out, they're just killing it with.
But the laser element of this, a new gameplay element, where if you touch these lasers, your ball's toast. It's a laser, bro. What do you think's gonna happen?
Slices it in half.
Yeah, and it'll keep going too.
Gets
so you'll
black
see
charred and catches fire, and
it's hilarious because a lot of these lasers, you know, some of them are persistent. They're just always there, and you have to avoid them. But a lot of them kind of like flash on and off, so you have to time your shot appropriately.
I count.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
I count exactly how long is it on for or how long is it off for.
As well, there might be like a slider going up and down that'll block the laser for a time. So it's not the laser shutting on and off, it's an object blocking it. So you kind of have to time it with the object to get to the appropriate spot. This one, man, it's like you have some planning to do before your shot for sure. You know, you'll sit there, you'll wait for the right time, and then hit. But I have a blast with it. It's so much fun.
Dude, we've been playing it every day.
Between the easy mode and
For
the
over
hard
a
mode
week.
too. Doesn't mean my score is crazy.
Not only we've been playing it, but we've got kind of like an upper hand in playing it.
We'll talk about our opinions on if it makes us better or not, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Walkabout Mini Golf, at the announcement of Lair, they also announced that they had a partnership for this course with HelloReal, which is a US based, VR accessory manufacturer, and they put together a Walkabout Mini Golf exclusive putter, and we got early access to it. It's available for pre-order now. You can actually visit the link in our show notes for it, but we got sent one for free to test out and give some thoughts on. So that was, we're hitting the point in 2023. This is the year we're included, baby. People starting to take notice. We got our Walkabout Mini Golf putter with that. It's overall, the first thing I'll say is it's got some weight to it, right?
Yeah, they've got a little weight right above the trigger mechanism that gives it nice. So when you're swinging, it's got
balanced.
a nice flow.
Yeah, and the design on it that says Walkabout Mini Golf, some nice aesthetic. It says grip to putter. That's awesome. It's comfy. But HelloReal really did a good job with it. It's really simple to attach. If you have the standard wrist strap with the controller, like you still do, how long did it take you to do it when you timed yourself?
I did it in 45 seconds, and I did. I set up the timer. You got to figure I wasted a second pressing start and wasted a second pressing stop, but it took 45 seconds.
And you just put the controller in, you feed the wrist strap through there.
Through an eye hole.
Just like it says on the instructions, and it also comes with like a QR code in case, you're having trouble with the instructions.
I recommend I would actually recommend do the QR code scan and watch the video.
Yeah, I was going to say that video is real nice.
And it's not but like a minute long. And you go, oh, I know exactly how to do this.
Yeah, and it really doesn't take long once you get the hang of it. Like you said, 45 seconds. So you basically put it in.
I was moving fast, though. So I figured if I wasn't moving fast and I just did it casually, you're looking at like probably a minute.
That's really not bad at all.
Dude, that's nothing.
So you put it in, you feed it through that little slot, and then there's these two little latches that you put it in. Then you just twist this top mechanism, and it secures the grip, like the wrist strap, to wrap around it a bunch. So then your controller's locked in. So if you have the standard wrist strap, golden. It's so simple.
Because you are swinging your controller upside down. So it's...
Yeah, you definitely want it secured.
Having it properly secured is a must.
But if you follow the instructions, it's super easy, and you're not pulling that thing out if it's locked in like that.
If you pull it out, you're going to rip your halo off your freaking controller.
Yeah, dude.
Because the putter's not going to break. And the back end of it, which is the part that's got the textured skin on it, it feels in your hand just like a real putter would. And since you use like a trigger mechanism to lock onto your shot, it's similar to how you'd put your hand. Your hand would be there on a real putter anyways.
Agreed. And so
works perfect.
There's one little trigger on the actual handle itself that when you press that, it presses the grip button, which you still use the trigger button in Walkabout to reset your position. But since you're using kind of two hands on the putter, anyway, you get a really good rhythm of, squeezing this one when you need to hold the grip button to take your shot, but then just pressing the trigger with your other hand real quick because it's kind of in that position anyway. But unfortunately, I moved last October, and when I realized I needed my wrist strap, I was like, uh-oh, I don't got my wrist strap. I only have my Kiwi Pro Grip ones that are super thick, so I kind of MacGyvered it. If you're in my boat and you only got like these alternative wrist straps, according to HelloReal, it's designed to be as compatible as possible, so that shouldn't be an issue, right? So what I did was, my Kiwi ones aren't like the official ones that have the plastic in them. It's just a string, so you could probably even do this with a regular string or rope or anything like that was thin enough. And I tied a little knot around it so then I could shove it in the hole of my controller and then lock it in like that. So then that's kind of like locked in tight with mine there. And then it's pretty easy to still just kind of feet in and everything like that. But I agree. I don't know if this gave like a competitive advantage.
It didn't hurt my game.
No, I don't.
But it definitely made my I'd say your putts are more accurate. So if you're gonna make a mistake, it's probably the way you're holding your putter. But for stability, I liked it a lot more than just the one-handed swing there, or doing the two hands on the controller.
So no matter what, performance better, equal, doesn't matter for immersion and fun. Oh, it's a home run.
And they do a good job on the instructions too, of saying like do's and don'ts. Like don't swing the thing like a baseball bat.
Yeah,
and you can take wide swings with it. Just be smart about things in front of you.
I think for my long shot, I'm like, it's potential that this is the same with the controller without. Where I do feel like it improved me, though, is my putting game. My putting game's pretty sloppy, and it just felt a step up with the putter.
It improved my long putts. And it's, I'm not like being conceited, but it's rare when I have a super long putt. Mm-hmm. If it's like a par 4, I can generally get close to the hole. But in some of the distance ones we had, even on some of the holes with the laser, yeah, it made a difference for sure.
And that, if you hear clicking, that's just me locking in my strap with the Kiwi. But so like, I don't know if I would sit here and say, buy this to improve your game. Without a doubt, it's going to make it. It's possible.
Can't say it won't though.
It might. I just would say it
definitely helped my long putt. So I can't argue that.
Yeah.
And I can't argue it's more stable in my hand than just swinging a controller.
But I think if you're a Walkabout fan and you just want like a more fun experience or just a cool experience to go along with your mini golf,
I mean,
this is it.
Can use it in other golf too.
I'm sure you could use it in
Golf Plus
and other golf games too.
Yes.
So
might just be careful on the drives.
The long swing.
Yeah, I mean, because you're adding 2 feet to your what you think is normal.
That game lets you adjust your power, like the power of your swing too. What I found in Walkabout was it felt like, because the thing's heavy, man, I can hit the ball really hard with the putter in my hands. Like sometimes, like, wow, I did not mean to hit that so hard. But I just attached my Kiwi grip while we're talking, locked in nice and good. It's got a little pull on, but nothing bad. You see this? I pull the trigger.
People don't realize what you're doing. You're pulling the trigger to press on the grip side
there.
Of the grip button.
Nice and good wiggle. Look at that. Doing what they say not to do and whip it around and stuff, but I'm just making a little test.
You're not whipping it like they're saying not they're saying like swinging that thing like a freaking caveman.
So even with the Kiwi,
it's locked in.
So if you are,
I wouldn't, it'll work.
It's not ideal,
but it was kind of cool that I actually found mine, so I was able to use my original wrist straps, and it felt bad when you were like, dude, I can't find them. They could be anywhere.
It could have been thrown out. It could be in my garage.
Yeah,
it could be in my basement. Too. Oh my goodness! You found yours.
So the fact you actually
box.
got it to work was good, because it would suck if you ordered it and you're like, oh.
Well, that's the only reason I brought it up is because I know
way.
I know there's no way I'm the only one that doesn't have their default.
I'm sure
wrist
some
strap.
people threw them away.
So it's like,
if they're like, I don't need this anymore in my life.
If you have a third-party wrist strap, there's a good chance it's gonna work. So and the thing is super easy to install, even with the the non-correct ones. It's secure. It's fun.
Definitely
I like it.
Quicker with the
good stuff from HelloReal.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, in full honesty, with attachments, I never know what you're really gonna get. Is it just an aesthetic thing? Is it just it's gonna make or is there a performance? Because I know some of the shooting ones people have said really will help their performance. But I will say it definitely adds to the realism. I love the feel of it because it's got like that putter grip that everybody's accustomed to that's ever held one in real life. The weighted end on it is great for the swing. So like you said, you don't have to swing it very hard to hit it hard because you got a little, there's some physics going on there. I would totally recommend getting it.
Yep,
I mean, the reality is we have one that we shared. I'll probably end up buying the second one.
So, like we said before, it's in pre-order stage right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on the HelloReal website, which we'll have the link in our show notes, it's $58.99, and it is limited edition, meaning Like get it by pre-order. You're not going to be able to get it in a year from now. You decide.
I think
to get
that's
it.
just the Walkabout one.
Yes, they do have. This is the Walkabout.
The official Walkabout skin.
You know, they have one that's non-Walkabout. That's a standard design. But dude, why would you not want the Walkabout one? So $58.99 for this attachment. You can pre-order on the HelloReal website. When I go to the page,
a Rough Talk VR one.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Selfishly, just for us.
When you go on the page, they do have one of those like pay in 4 interest-free installment options. I don't know if it's just my web browser. You know how sometimes it like A/B tests and sometimes it views or sometimes it shows
I'm
up.
sure
Sometimes
everybody's seeing that.
yeah, so you can do the payments on it
What
too.
is it, Affirm?
No, it looks like Shop Pay.
Okay.
But usually it is a
Dude,
Affirm.
there's so many now.
And it sounds like that it's going to, it says right now compatible with Rift S, Quest 1, Quest 2, and Quest Pro. And a PSVR 2 version is coming in summer of 2023.
Nice.
And there'll be a compatible version with the add-on included with it. So like example, you get it and then you want to use it for PSVR, there's just an attachment you attach to it
for your
to
controller.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
No,
Especially,
and it's put together really well.
I was skeptical because I was like, oh, it's going to be a little like 3D printed plasticky thing, but it's not. It's got some serious
solid shit going on there.
And the Walkabout design on it, it's not like a paper design. It's like a foam cushiony.
No, it is
grip.
It's a putter grip, bro.
Yeah. Well, like that's important to say. You know, it's
I
not a
have
cheap
been
thing.
twice.
Somebody here's 58. Like, dude, no, this thing is very well made.
I brought it up more than once, I swear.
Look at that. I love the clicking the grip too. It works so good when you don't have the controller in, because there's no resistance pushing on the trigger. You'll pull the button and you'll be like, oh no, it's not gonna.
And you can adjust by pulling the actual trigger mechanism down or raising it. You can set the sensitivity you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it like, hey, you barely have to touch the trigger, you can.
Well, this is the first attachment I've used from HelloReal, you know, for a controller attachment. Really well done, especially to go along.
And if you look at what they sell, they got a lot of other shit going on too. So
huge props to them.
Yeah.
Great to go along with this new Walkabout mini golf course that, again, the aesthetics of it, that you're in like a super villain lair and they have like the giant robot at the end. One of the easier hole 18s that I've seen, but I'm not complaining about it at all.
yeah, why don't you shut your mouth?
One time I messed up on it. You
want them to drop some like black hole course,
right?
Fucking no finishing.
Well, you know what's funny is we loaded in and we were having trouble finding the ball in the first 2 holes, and we were like, "Oh, this one's so hard."
We see how it's gonna be,
and then we figured it out. We went back, we found those 2, and then we found all of them the first playthrough,
first run.
So
yeah.
I was really proud of that. But the easy mode in this, you know,
need to toughen up the ball hiding.
well, it's kind of a more compact course. It's not their biggest
Yeah,
course.
there's not a lot of
Not
places you could hide the.
it's not like Temple of
trust
Zazura.
me, they did a good job where they did. So
No, but the aesthetics are beautifully done. I love it. Great sound score. The actual gameplay mechanics, I can't stress it enough. I agree with you. This is one of the most fun courses I've played in a while with the lasers, the way it's integrated, the timing of it. Like you said, the potential for crazy hole-in-one shots, but it's just a funny course. Like watching somebody's ball either get destroyed by the laser last second, right before they cross, or like an action movie, making it across as the laser turns on. It's like an instant every time. So,
and dude, the music that they got playing is like perfect.
So
Perfect.
great job with the gameplay, the aesthetics of it on the easy mode. The hard mode features 2 fox hunts for the people that love fox hunts. There's a bonus one on this one. So for you fox hunters who like that aspects of Walkabout, that would be like if they made 36 hidden balls for us, we'd be going crazy with excitement. And the hard mode on it, I always play the hard mode. Whenever these DLCs come out, we do easy and hard. And then typically I'll just stick with easy mode. I really like the hard mode on this one. It's like, it's not so much harder. It's just different, you know?
It's a slightly more challenge. It's not their hardest hard mode.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons I'm liking it so much is because of the lasers on every hole. It almost feels as dumb as this sounds because they're using lasers. We don't do that. But it almost has that more traditional mini golf feel where there's just different obstacles to contend with.
And some timing aspects.
Instead of like, necessarily like a whole themed course or whatever. So it brings back a little of that, as weird as it is.
Because it's lasers.
It's lasers, but there's some nostalgic as well.
I get it entirely.
Yeah. And the courses themselves are pretty much, there's nothing like really crazy going on in them.
No.
Fucking lasers.
And they're so well done. There's like one of them, it's like the lasers flash on and off.
What do they do that's not well done?
We'd go
Give me
into
something.
it. There's a couple we'd go on and all the lasers would be off and we'd be like, what's the catch?
What's the catch?
And then they all zoom on and there's there's one where it looks like they just maxed out the lasers. They're just like everywhere and you have like these little patches to land on. There's also like these divots into the ground that you'll sometimes have to try to land on that like there's moving lasers and if you land in the divot, you're safe, or a laser's moving back and forth. And if you land anywhere in the area that it's moving back and forth, you're toast. Even if you pass it or like you're passing by, it's not there. Eventually, even after you're done, it's going to hit it. So you got to land in like these safe areas that the laser's not getting exposed to. I don't know, man. They did every hole's fresh. Every time we've played it, I mean, we've played this course a lot, especially with testing out that HelloReal putter. And I haven't gotten sick of it at all. I have a great, hilarious time every single time. Again, it's cool because unfortunately we only got one putter, but like, hey, it's a limited edition thing in pre-order stage right now. I imagine they don't have hundreds of them. Like you said, we'll probably have to get another one with how cool it was. So I used it for a couple days, then you used it for a couple days. It was just a cool experience with this course. I really enjoyed it.
I got sold on it when I looked at it in person the first time and looked at the instructions and I watched the video. I was like, okay, it's either going to be really simple or it's going to be really hard. But when I snugged up in there and I gave it a little practice swing, I was sold.
Yeah, and at first I was like, come on, man, it needs the wrist strap. But I'm like, that locking mechanism of using the wrist strap and tying it around it,
it's pretty critical.
Really well done. And furthermore, pending any, sudden errors or anything like that, weather disasters or sudden change in schedule, the word on the street, we should have an interview with somebody we've interviewed before from the Mighty Coconut team, Edward.
It's possible.
We're scheduled to have him on later this week. Talk a little bit about the putter.
All the way from down under.
From another Aussie boy. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
He'll be waking up super early for our little bit later. So, like I said.
Like his 6 or 7 in the morning, I think.
So, yeah, we're those selfish people. Get up early, talk with us.
We all got to do what we got to do.
It's a team effort, Edward. We got to make this work. But
we'd rather do it during the week as well.
Yeah, but we're going to be talking with Edward a little bit about the Laser Lair course, the putter, all things Walkabout mini golf. So stay tuned for that.
And he does most of the ball artwork, if I recall. So
yeah, and all the ball hiding. So I can't stress this enough. We didn't give the official seal of approval. I got to say this one is not only a Rough Talk VR approved DLC course. It's not only well done. This would actually be one of the DLC courses. I say if you're a Walkabout mini golf, not only get it, it's a must buy one. With these new gameplay elements and aesthetics and everything, they've really, really outdone themselves. I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, anything they come out with is a must own. But I get what you're saying. If someone was like, "Hey, what do you recommend?"
Of this DLC, this DLC.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it's going to be like 3 or 4 no matter what. But this would definitely be on the list of 3 or 4 because it's not too challenging enough. You get frustrated. I think the only one that would probably frustrate people would be the Upside Down.
Yeah, that one was the only mixed one I've ever heard.
Totally different way of playing golf that you'd ever be used to. Up to and including if you played it on the space shuttle, it would probably be, But I still like that one as well. But this one was, definitely I'd get it. It's like anything else. They've locked in their mechanics. They know everything's going to work. They're not going to ever release anything janky. Never found a bug in any of their download or DLCs. Nothing.
Never.
So it's like, what can I say? And that freaking music, dude. I want to talk to the sound score guy.
Yeah.
I really do because it gets better and better. And remember what Lucas was saying? Like he's got to
balance it in terms
tone
of
the guy down because he can come out with shit so good you'll be actually thinking about it days later.
There's another gentleman who we hear.
New England is fucking on fire right now.
Oh, it's
so hot.
But there's another guy that we've heard referenced every time we interview Walkabout people named Henning, and I'm not even sure if he's a real dude at this point or he's just a mythological beast in the
Just
studio.
a 3D printed mascot.
Yeah, but I definitely want to talk with Henning one day. But I'm so excited that we get to have Edward back on. He was a great interview last time.
Cool guy.
Again, this course, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100, whatever you want to say, buy, whatever. It's a must buy. Not Walkabout Mini Golf, Mighty Coconut. They always do good. I always love their DLCs, but wow, to me, they really knocked it out of the park.
So we'll say 5-star, 2 thumbs up.
Right? Whatever you want to say as your metric, this one is a home run. And huge props and thank you to HelloReal for sending us this awesome Walkabout Mini Golf putter. I would say, as somebody that usually doesn't go crazy about controller attachments, we play some Walkabout.
Mm-hmm.
If it's at my house, I'm probably going to use it. And I won't lie. Be honest, if it's at your house, you'll probably throw it in too. 45 seconds.
Myself. Because I'm like, if I can put anything on my controller in less than a minute.
Did you even take off your headset to do it?
The first night, yes. Second night, no.
Did it while wearing your headset? Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have the link for the pre-order in our show
Just
notes
looking
as
under
well.
the little space by my nose, though,
Yeah, I love that. Hey, I used to hate that space because light leak, whatever. I actually love that space. It allows me to utilize.
Sometimes you have to peek.
Sometimes, my girlfriend's watching TV. I'm a little interested. There's fights on.
Yeah, you look up.
Yeah. I can't wait for the day I can have a screen in a screen, but one day.
Yeah, picture.
Yeah, one day. But so big stuff coming later this week with our interview with Edward. A lot of game reviews in the works right now. Other than that, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, check out the links in our show notes. Become a Patreon. That's huge.
Go jump in a swimming pool.
Yeah, go cool off.
Hopefully you got some AC going.
Stay nice and cool this summer. And real quick, to wrap up the show, we're going to be joined with Shoes again for the second edition of his game. I'm curious what the name of it'll be. And
this is a different game, so
somehow,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, somehow I have a feeling that we won't do as good as we did last time, but who knows? Let's see. I don't even know what we're playing, so I'm excited.
Want to play at home? Now's your chance.
Yep. So grab your notebook.
Unless you're driving.
And stay tuned for the second edition of Shoes game to wrap up the show, and then we'll be back with you Wednesday with Edward's interview. And we're here with Shoes for the second edition of Games with Shoes. I mean, we need to come up with an official name for it, but you do a good job coming up with some good names for the individual games. If you missed it the other week,
I'll call mine Lose with Shoes. I didn't get that 100% last time.
Yeah, last time it was good. We didn't do as bad as I thought. On the first one we got like 6 out of 10, right? I think both of us.
Yeah, it did great.
Yeah, it got tied up when I didn't go with my gut instinct on the last one.
And it was guessing if the game was App Lab or official store. I have a feeling that you went back to the drawing board and made things even tougher. So I'm excited for this one. But it's not the same game. It's a different game. So Shoes, do you want to explain to our listeners what you have on deck for us today?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks again for having me back. I appreciate it. Like you said, it's a new game this week. I call it Guess the Gigs. It's a pretty straightforward game. I'm going to tell you the name of a game and going to ask you if it's bigger or a smaller file size than the number I give you. So you'll take turns to see who guesses first, but you'll both get a chance to guess. And the highest score out of 10 wins. And I do have tiebreakers this time. So if it comes to that, I'm prepared.
All right.
Again, podcast or YouTube listeners, feel free to play along. Let us know how you did in the Discord. It was awesome to hear the feedback from last time to hear how people did. So people did really great. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to hear. So let me know. It's great.
Not to cut you up. Nobody got 100% though, did they? I think somebody got 90%.
I saw some 9 out of 10s for sure. So that was pretty great. And I don't know what they were using, some tricks or tips or just knew the game. So
saw some close scores and a little underscores in ours too. Yep. So that made me feel good too.
Yeah, no, we fell in range.
Yeah. So post your scores in the Discord, also in the YouTube comments, and I'm curious to see how other people do on this one, but I'll let you take over again. Shoes is the game host on this one,
No, I appreciate it. So just to level set, because VR is kind of a different animal than flat screen gaming, I want to give you a sample game and the size of that game. So I'm just going to tell you the answer for this one, just so you can kind of get a sense of, because I think VR is a different thing. So Barbaria, for example, you guys are real familiar with that game. That game is 2.16 gigabytes. So that's just kind of your level set. Get that in mind. A game like Barbaria, just over 2 gigs.
Oh, I'm going to fail on this. I would have guessed that was like 6 or 7.
And that's what I thought. Maybe.
And you play it too. That's fun.
Well, it's like a pretty in-depth game. Wow, the fact that they have it optimized to that size, that's impressive. Versus Grid Legends, which is an arm and a leg and a headset.
Mm.
All right, so let's jump in. There's the first game. Who's going to go first? Do you want to decide that?
Do you remember who went first last time? We won't do it this time, but what we'll do is we'll get a Rough Talk VR coin or something. We'll do a coin
I like
flip.
that.
But I don't mind going first this time.
Yeah, go for it.
And we'll do coin
Because
flip
I
next time.
honestly I can't remember.
I can't remember who went first last time either. No, so
I know who went last time. I went first.
But we'll flip a coin next time. But I'll take the lead this one.
Sounds good. And these are all games you should know. Pretty mainstream games here. So Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond. Is this game more or less than 50 gigabytes? 50.
Oh, you actually made this hard because when you first said the name, I was like, oh, this is going to be so easy. It's such a huge game. But then I go, wait a second. Is it more or less than 50? If you had said like 30 gigabytes, I'd be like, oh, it's more. But I'm like, shit, it might be under 50. But I'm going to go with more on this one. But you did a good job because, like I said, based off the title, I would have thought it was an easy one. I was like, thank goodness I picked to go first with an easy title to start it. But damn, with that number, I don't know.
I'm trying to freaking remember.
Right?
Because they haven't had any updates.
If this guy said 30,
so I'm pretty sure what it came out as is what it came out as. Oh, man.
I feel like it's got at least 30
because you
gigs
brought
in
up
audio.
Because you brought
video.
up Grid Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got like them stuck in my head, and I'm like focusing on like 47 gig.
I had the same impression of the 40s,
but yet
like
for
45.
some reason I'm seeing like 51, 52 gig.
Oh, it's so tough. I had the 40s in my head too. That's why I said if he said 30, it was no brainer. But I'm like, man, it could have been 45.
Hate myself for this one.
Are you saying less? Are you saying less?
I'm gonna go with less than 50 gig, even though I'm not gonna be shocked if it's 53 or 54.
So you both guessed less?
No, I guessed more.
These Scruffles took more.
Okay.
I'm taking less.
It is less at 44.05 gigs.
I had 45 in my head too.
And the reason I brought this one up is because there was a lot of talk about people who had the 64 gigabyte one being like, hey, this is the only game you can have on your system because you got to delete everything else. Because it's there's around 52.7 gigs of usable storage on the original 64 Quest. And so that leaves 11.3 for the system. So like it takes up, this one game takes up 83.5% of your system. So there was a discussion on there. So I thought it's hard with this wild number one because it was just, yeah.
No, that was a good one though. Because honestly, if it was over the 50, I wouldn't have been shocked. I just couldn't remember for the life of me. But I thought I'd remembered 40 something.
You were right on there. You were dancing right around that number too. I was like, oh man, is he gonna hit it spot on? All right.
You should get bonus points for spot ons.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty great.
The closest to get it without going over.
Fair enough. For what it's worth, that was not a good use of 40 plus gigs either.
No.
I was a little let down with that game.
I think like 30 of it was videos.
Yeah, right.
It was the NPC placement that kind of killed it for me.
Well, and the multiplayer was very buggy. It had potential, but no follow-up support.
Yeah, no. That's what, not to divert from the game, I swear, but it's what kind of upset me with like what we assumed would be a AAA caliber type game, and
with Respawn coming in on it,
and like no updates, no, just pull the plug on the radio. Thank you very much.
That one,
Coke and a smile.
That one in Grid Legends showed me that.
At least Grid Legends came out like 2 weeks after though, and was like, hey,
here's an update. But that showed me AAA and flat screen does not mean AAA in VR.
Nope.
I say it all the time. We have our own AAA studios. They know how to work in VR. You see when these big studios come into VR too, they're selfish with data storage. It's like all these EA games are like 50 gigabytes, and it's like, well, clearly under, as evidenced by my loss in the question. But they're not optimized versus, like you mentioned, Barbaria at the start. 2.7. There's more content in Barbaria than Grid Legends. And Grid Legends is like almost 50 as well. So, AAA and VR and AAA and flat screen are different. One does not translate to the other. We have our own beast in VR.
Yep.
But
And we had high hopes for that. You see that Medal of Honor, you see, 44 gigs, this is going to be a big adventure. And then you're like,
nope.
Oh, I was pumped. I really was pumped. I would have actually, I was not. I would have rather seen an old port from one of the old versions that actually like was a lot more fun than what they put out.
What was the name of of Medal of Honor 2?
Medal of Honor 2.
They had catchy names back then. They
each
had,
one, but they were good.
lines.
I really enjoyed
they're
them.
really good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we don't have GoldenEye.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I can live without it.
Well, I feel like a lot of people would disagree on that. That one's got a cult following.
They put it out for free on
the remastered.
Yeah, and you know what? I jumped into it being like, "Oh, this is going to be great," and I'm
different in VR though.
Like, this really sucks.
The Team Beef crew announced that they're working on Doom 4. No, I'm sorry, Quake 4. Quake 4 in VR.
Now the last Doom in VR,
Yeah.
Good night.
The Team Beef
fucking amazing.
The Team Beef modding crew is so good.
They're legit.
Okay. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode. I mean, they're dynamite stuff. They put on some dynamite stuff. All right.
Sorry.
No, this is good. This is good.
Sorry.
No, didn't mean to digress.
No, this is great.
We got some opinions about some AAA studios coming into VR with that sloppy ass data storage. Let's go.
Exactly. Let's go.
Sloppy ass.
No updates. That's not the standards we're used to. We're used to cheap games, low data storage, and constant updates for free. You effed up coming into our market with that flat screen mindset. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Flipping the script. Complete 180. Cubism. More or less than 1 gig.
You get to go first now, sir. I have my answer, thank goodness. I feel confident about this one, but I'm 80% confident.
Oh my God. I'm going to say, man.
And this is current. This is current release, not when it first
release
current
date.
as of, yes.
I might get O in whatever the amount you got planned. I don't know if I'm going to get a single one right.
There's been some updates to it, though. Oh, shillings. I'm going to have to go with less than a gig. Because for the life of me, I don't remember it installing and being like...
I wish I recently updated it or something.
Imagine if this is like 3 gigs.
I'll be shocked.
So pissed.
I'm going to go with less as well. So at least if you go down, you're not going down alone.
Right.
I feel like it's probably like an 800 gigger. I'm sorry. Wow.
800
megabytes.
So you have to, can you daisy chain headsets now? Is that how it works?
800 megabytes. I feel like, maybe like 639 or something like that,
You think that low?
I don't know. Barbaria was 2 point something.
Yeah, but it's not like...
Yeah, Cubism has the hand tracking, the pass through.
So I'm trying to think of like what... I don't know. I'm sticking with less.
All right, both less. And the answer is, it is less. It is 0.24 gigabytes. So
what?
About 2,400 megabytes. So.
Holy crap.
So nice work.
What? So you see, Respawn coming in.
I was way
EA
off.
with code breakers. Selfish with the data storage. They don't know how to optimize.
Well,
for
if
VR.
you're getting something for it, but obviously some developers know how to do more with less. But damn, I wouldn't have thought that low.
Yeah, they're
less than a gig.
Yeah.
Thomas Van Bowel, he's, Walkabout Mini Golf just came out with their laser course. Mm-hmm. He also has a laser game coming out that he's been working on for mixed reality. You got to give him credit with Cubism for adapting pass through. Before pass through was the cool stuff.
Dude,
Same with hand tracking.
When that game came out, I mean, that was App Labbed, and then that was
I don't think Cubism was App Labbed. I think it was straight to the store.
Oh no, you're correct.
Cubism was already existing on the store when we came out.
You're correct. I was thinking of something else.
But their hand tracking is tight. Their pass through is tight. He's always been.
Wasn't he one of
the
godfathers of the hand tracking for Quest?
He's just done it since the beginning, and he also has a game coming out that he's been working on since, again, before pass through was cool, called like Laser Dance or something like that. And it scans your room and like buttons will pop up that you have to press, but there's lasers that you have to dodge. So you have to duck under them and avoid as you get across your room to press the button on the wall. Then a new button will pop up with a new laser combination or something along those lines. That's at least the core concept of the game. So Thomas Van Bowel really understands VR, to be able to get Cubism and 200 megabytes or 0.2 gigs. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's real crazy. I
Yeah.
really, I mean, I obviously guessed it was under the gig, but I didn't think it was
That low. When I said 600, you're
and
like
for
that low.
and for the popularity of it throughout the
Mhm.
years.
Mhm.
Get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a home run.
So that's somebody who understands pass
Jeez
through,
Louise, man.
understands hand tracking, and just
Yeah,
is
no, he's no
on the cusp.
he's no newbie.
Yeah,
Gets it.
great stuff.
Speaking of Walkabout mini golf, that's our next game. It is the
Mhm.
base game only, more or less than 7 gigs.
Less. I'll say less. But I'm not 100% sure. I have a feeling I recently saw it be 8 gigs, but I feel like that might be because I had DLCs.
Hmm.
So when you make that specification, I went, oh, I didn't even think of that at the initial part when you said the question.
What's this? We're not. I got one up on you, right?
Yeah, I got 1 right. You got 2 right. Congrats, by the way. I'm guessing less than 8. 8's the
7.
number?
7.
So
7.
less than 7, less than 7. I'm thinking like maybe 5, 6.
Man, damn shoes. There's so many variables.
Base game,
I
what is
have
that?
the
4
number 8.
courses? Is that right?
Yeah, I have the number 8 in my head for some reason. But I'm still saying less.
No, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say less than 7. But again, tell me it's 7.2, 7.4. I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, or 8. I have the number 8
I
in
don't
my
think
head.
I don't think it's as high as 8 for base game.
Yeah, let's
no.
see. Let's see.
Could
It
even
is
be 4.
4.36.
Yes.
But so you're both right. It is less than 7 gigs. I'm sure with all the DLC though, it probably that update's probably pretty hardy.
Oh yeah, every one of them.
Yeah.
So you're 3-0 right now. I'm 2-1. Messed up on Medal of Honor.
No, you're
No, I got the first one wrong.
with the last 2 correct.
Correct. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
2-1.
2-1.
And you're
Yep.
3-0.
Yeah, it's the heat, dude.
Yeah, we're dying.
Shriveling my brain.
It's Temple of Zazura out here, you know?
It's cooking my soul.
Right. So that was good.
All
Talk
right.
about mini golf, man. Like I said, Laser Dance. We reviewed it earlier on this episode, but man, they constantly push it. They got the HelloReal putter too.
I get excited every time I hear that they're coming
Nice.
out. And we've seen their
Look at that.
roadmap too. So it's like, dude, we're gonna be up to our elbows in Walkabout for years.
I want
Especially with the aggressiveness they're dropping courses.
I want them to do a Star Wars course so freaking bad.
I'm sure Lucas Martel wants them to do a Star Wars course too, but do they want to pay Disney freaking
Just
$12 million?
imagine your putter's
You hear
a
heavy
lightsaber.
breathing? You can go on the multiplayer anytime, find at least somebody who's going to breathe like Darth Vader.
Your lightsaber. I'm sorry, your putter could be a lightsaber.
Oh man.
Imagine. Imagine.
That'd be pretty great.
Imagine.
The swing sound effects would be nice.
You go to
yeah.
the Death Star. You go to
Dude, anything.
You go to
Death
Tatooine.
Star would be that's pretty massive.
You go to the Tatooine. You can go to anywhere. You go to anywhere. So much potential.
Yep.
What gives me hope is that they have Star Wars has like 3 or 4 games out there already on so they're no stranger to VR. It's not like it's unheard of.
Mm-hmm. How about a Speed Racer game?
It's possible.
Hubris had me thinking of that.
Yeah,
that
with the
speed
minute I
racing
jumped on the racing
that
motorcycle.
speed racing, that Hubris was so good.
Well, same thing with Tron.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily do Tron then.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah,
the motorcycles.
I think the episode 1 with little baby Anakin, little boy Anakin doing the pod racing.
There is that pod racing game
in VR.
In VR, yeah, it's on the Apple app.
It's
not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars, but I mean that's inspired by. I mean it's pretty hard.
We're going official license.
Yeah, official license.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Star Wars.
Good.
They have endless money making potential. As much as they want to milk the series, Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's like they could put out 20 VR games tomorrow. And what you mentioned, they already have a couple. It's cool. I give them props.
Although, if we're gonna say that, I feel if they don't do something like relative to the VR market, the juice they have had doesn't necessarily equate to juice they'll have. If you get what I'm saying.
I don't know. The Star Wars things that they've done in VR have been very well received.
Of course they are. They
Tales
just
of
like
Galaxy
at their parks with their whole 3D experiences and stuff. They're crushing it. But
Tales of Galaxy Edge, the game was actually in duo with that park attraction. That was Tales of Galaxy Edge.
That was a great game.
Yeah. So was Vader Immortal.
I really love that freaking game.
I think Vader Immortal
guy
is still. I know some people.
Yoda.
Yeah,
Remember Yoda? Come on,
Well,
man.
dude, there's something that happens in Vader Immortal where you go face to face with Darth Vader. And I
Yeah.
think for people that are new to VR, like it's still a newer, you didn't just get your headset. Vader Immortal is much more of an interactive movie than Tales of Galaxy Edge, which is more of an open world game. Vader Immortal is 3 episodes, but for somebody brand new to VR,
Walkabout.
you don't need to be moving a whole bunch. And Vader Immortal is a great first couple VR experiences. Again, coming face to face with
If you
Darth
like
Vader.
Star Wars.
Or
Yeah.
exactly. That's a big caveat. Or you're running up the hill, then the Rancer punches his arm through the door, and you're like, dude, that's a freaking Rancer hand. Somebody if you go into that after using VR for a couple of years, you might be like, hey, I need more gameplay. But new to VR, Vader Immortal still holds strong.
Totally. Absolutely.
Fair enough.
All right. And we are number 4 here. Demio. More or less than 5 gigs.
Have fun.
In current state?
Demio in current state.
Man. I'm going to have to go. Oh, dude.
I'm just giving you the stoic poker look.
I can't even, with your Charlie Sheen shirt. I can't
Tiger
even,
blood.
Does he still have that brand? Didn't he come out with like an energy drink too? Or am I thinking of freaking?
I think he came out with
Logan Paul.
AIDS too. Hopefully these don't have AIDS.
What's wrong with you, dude? It's Charlie Sheen. He smoked that AIDS. I'm trying to think of what the updates have been in size to download.
Dude, there's
5 gig. You're saying?
More or less than 5
how
gig.
How many maps?
I am gonna go with it's more than 5 gigs.
I swear I'm not copying him because he's gotten all the correct answers so far. I'm not like peeking over, but I'm going with more as well.
Then why are you saying more?
Because dude, it's Demio. There's like how many maps at
well,
current
and they got
stage? The heroes hangout.
Yep.
I mean, like, dude, I probably would have said more with just the base release. Look at the graphics of it.
1.8.
Oh, could you imagine if it's like 2 or something? I'm guessing
I'd
Demio's.
leave. I'd be gone.
I'm gonna say
me walk out.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said with Walkabout. I'm saying 8.
All right. Well, Stratus, it was funny. You said 1.8. It is 1.77.
That's impossible.
That's what I said when I pulled that one up. 1.77. That I don't think you're going to get much closer than 0.03 gig from a guess. So, but unfortunately, you both got it wrong. Which because that's why it threw me off too. I was like 1.77. Yeah.
What do you think that? Do you think it's? How do you think they get away with that?
Because they're resolution freaking games.
Well, yeah, no, I get that.
Holy moly. Talk about optimizing. You don't even need to optimize that point. You can be a little bit more greedy than 1.77. You can they can push that to like 4. It's fine.
They obviously don't need to.
How?
Dude, I don't know. I'm actually, my mind's blown on that one.
That thing must have like zipped folders that are just accessed. I don't know what they do.
They're using, I don't know. I can't because they got all the different areas and each shit's got stuff going on.
They got
and the
games
graphics
in there.
are tight.
No. The graphics are great too. That's the thing.
Multiplayer,
scale,
the environment.
Maybe it's something
characters.
because of the top-down views. It's just it doesn't take as much.
I don't know. Don't believe it.
I don't get it though. The graphics are good.
Damn.
I know. I had to double check it. I double checked it.
Resolution is doing sorcery.
They got their own resolution servers. They know what's going on.
Just like remember Super Resolution for the MetaQuest update that came out last week?
Yep.
This is Super Resolution games right now, man. Holy moly.
Wow, man. They should, studio should get awards sometimes for what they're able to put out and
best optimized game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the size, it's like
quality.
If you went up to 10 people and was like, do you think Demio is more than 2 gigs? You'd be like, well, fuck yeah, it is. Dude, 1.77.
I was so confident.
Get the
over
hell out.
You should never uninstall Demio.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I have.
For 1.77.
Yeah.
It's obviously too small. Why would I?
Yeah, it's not. You wouldn't even.
I'm not gaining space by it.
No, you're losing so much content.
Yeah.
Wow. No, hats off to
resolution games.
Yeah, know how good they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Damn.
Population 1. more or less than 8 gigabytes. Gone free to play not too long ago.
I'm saying it's my turn. I'm saying less. I'm at 50% right now, so don't listen to me, but I'm saying less.
I believe you are correct, sir. In current state.
I'm saying less.
I just want to make sure. Hold on. I'm agreeing with you.
He's scanning his brain.
I'm currently saying less.
Okay, it is less. 5.15. Nice work.
Ooh. I got burned last one.
I almost wow.
Dude, these developers that are
And not for nothing. That's even pretty reasonable for what you're getting in Pop 1.
VR developers are so good. They know how to
For a while it was the biggest, like, and I'll say for standalone, it was probably the biggest world for a little while that I think I had been into.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Township Tale, that obviously pretty massive. Don't they do different load sections, I believe, though.
Yeah. But it makes it more as I'm going through this, it makes, the data size of Grid Legends and Medal of Honor even more
Unjustifiable.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, for what you're getting.
1.77 with Demio.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's wild.
Shoes lying.
Everyone's going to go to their, look up on their Meta app and see, is it really true?
Well, and what's cool is I'm sure some people are going to hear it, and it's like you gain an instant better appreciation for, just like you lose appreciation for some games when you go, how big is Grid Legends?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for what? For that? But yeah, Demio's not even 2 gigs, and you're getting, I mean, honestly, beyond hours worth of content. Days and days.
Yeah, I'm going to obsess with that one till the end.
That's fantastic. We got, you know what? Next time we talk to Resolution, we got to ask them how they actually did that.
Mm-hmm. What sorcery are you doing?
Yeah, what magic? What Demio magic are you using? No, hats off to them. Their team is obviously pretty freaking amazing.
They could teach a class on that.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned hats. Peaky Blinders is next, or Stratus, you like to call it.
Peaky fucking Blinders. Yes.
I love it. I love it. They did have a new content update, so keep that in mind. We're going to go with more or less than 8 gigabytes.
It's on you, mate.
No, I think I went last one, right?
Oh,
I think you did, yes.
Yeah, you're trying to pass it off to me. Have fun, bro.
Peaky fucking Blinders. 8 gigs.
Yep, that's the baseline.
Got to stay in peaky mode. 8 fucking gigs. I have to say more than 8 gigs.
Why you stealing my answers? I'm going with more as well.
Really? That easy?
Yeah. No, I was thinking.
How am I stealing your answers? I went first.
Because I already wrote it down.
How dare you wear a Ghost of Tabor hat during Peaky Blinders?
I only grabbed it because I was just thinking, like, imagine if we had our Peaky Blinders hat, and I was like, well, I got a hat right here.
It just doesn't say Peaky Blinders.
No, it says Ghost of Tabor.
8 gigs. I'm gonna be sad as shit if it's less than 8, because I really like Peaky Blinders.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing
it is more. It is more. It is 10.54. Nice work.
I had a feeling because it felt a little bit more like an Unreal based game off of my memory. I feel like
they're not using Unity. I don't believe. No,
I get the impression Unity games are just a tiny bit smaller in data size. So,
well, I think they could be bigger depending on what you used it for.
1.77 Demio.
But who knows? Maybe
it's the new shirt, right?
Mm-hmm. Demio 1.77. If you know, you know.
Dude, that's such little size for so much content. The Peaky makes sense though, because there's a lot of animated scenes and such.
Yeah, and like those character models.
Mm-hmm. The environment.
It's basically a movie.
One of our Discord members knows exactly where that location is.
I remember that when we did our review.
I think he posted a picture of it too. Like it's literally down the street from where he lives. How freaking cool is that? I wonder if they give tours. Go in there and they go in there and liquor you up and rough you all up. What you looking at?
So I think I'm at 4 and 2.
I don't know what I'm at.
I think you're at 5 and 1.
5 and 1.
Yep.
Really? 1 wrong? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. All right.
That was the Demio you got wrong.
Yeah, of all things.
Well,
I feel like I let Resolution.
Yeah, no, that was
no.
They
should be proud of it.
Yeah, no, it's a proud loss.
Mm-hmm.
The next game has a ton of add-ons, Beat Saber, but we're talking about the base game here. More or
Ooh.
less than 2 gigs.
Damn it! I almost wish I went first for Peaky.
You could have. I could have easily have been fooled on that. 2 gigs. Think about it though. You get a lot of music packs.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Base
go with.
game.
I'm gonna go with more.
More than 2 gig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going at current base game has a lot more going on to it than I think it did 2 years ago. So, this could be another example though of
Demio.
where
I'm
they
getting
did
hit.
a
I'm
shit
getting
ton
burned.
for a little, but it's got to be all that music.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Although
Could be compressed, but it's such good quality in Demio too.
I will say more than 2 gig. Final answer.
Ooh, I feel good. I feel better about my answer.
You both say more than 2 gigs?
Yes.
It is 1.55 gigs. Tons of music in there. There's probably, I don't know, what, 30, 40, maybe more songs
Maybe
in that
even
thing?
more, yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
a
we're
lot.
at 4 and 3 and 5 and 2.
What the frick? You know what's crazy though? Some of the best games we're seeing don't have the highest amount of gigs.
You know what would be a fun blog post
Holy
sometime?
crap.
Best
Yeah.
games under 2 gigs.
Oh, I like that.
Well, and how many of the games under 2 gigs are top 10s too?
Oh,
Because you already got Walkabout. No, Walkabout's up there.
Yeah.
You know, if
Never
you
mind.
looked at that, that'd be an interesting data to
But
go
Demio?
through and go, hey, just so you know, none of the games that sell more than X amount or this amount of, or
It's the virgin state of VR. That's why.
yeah, like you
This'll
don't
be a
need to go
different
bigger. Bigger is
conversation.
not better.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but it's showing the power of some. But Beat Saber, that little
With all that
Yeah.
audio and the quality and the coding and just wow.
per
Wow.
money made
Oh,
divided by size of the game.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
That's
Yeah.
some of
It's
the most
literally nothing.
some of the most valuable megabytes in VR.
Yep. Wow, man. So you got that right. I got it wrong. We both said
No, we
the
No,
same.
both
both
got
got
it
it.
wrong. All right, so we got 3 more.
Yep, 3 more. Speaking of moneymakers, VR chat. I think it's your favorite game, Stratus. More or less than 4 gigs.
Who goes on this one?
You
No,
you go evens, I go odds.
Jiggly boobies aren't free, and tails aren't free. 4 gig, you're saying?
Yep. And this
I'm
is
good.
all base. This is just install.
base game?
Base game install.
I already wrote my answer too, so I can't copy you.
I'm gonna say less than 4 gigs.
I say less too. I think that we might even see less than a gig on this one.
You think?
Mhm.
What, 0.8?
No. Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah. 1.2
Well,
maybe.
Here's where it's shameful. I don't spend any time of my life in
I've
there.
never seen it.
So it's like technically I could go in there right now and be like, oh my God.
I've never seen it like reinstall on my head. Like there's games like Walkabout.
Dude,
it's like, oh, I see it.
What if it's 12 gigs?
Oh, it could be. I
If
have
it's
no
over
reference on
10,
this.
I'm gonna make sure it's in my headset tonight.
I have no reference on this.
'Cause
What
now I'll be real
hurts it is
curious.
it's not optimized and made specifically for the Quest.
Yeah.
This is a Quest version
So
of
that could
VR chat.
so
that
it
could
be more.
hurt it.
Yeah.
In this regard, but I'm saying less. I think it might be surprisingly
I'm
low.
with Les. I'm with you.
Because so much of the content you download and load into, and it's like, so you go to a world, is it in your headset storage on install, or does it do a quick, like when you go to access it, does it then download the content quick or something? I don't know the way it works. So there's so much content in VR chat, but I doubt when you install VR chat, it downloads all of the
stressing me
worlds.
out.
Yeah, that's why I think it might be surprisingly small. But let's see.
Okay.
What is
You're
it?
both right. It is less, and it is surprisingly small. It is 0.95 gigs.
See? Yeah. I
Yeah,
could totally
very
see that.
close.
That was kind of the impression I had.
Okay, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm okay.
Because like there's what are they going to do? Download all that content
so
at once?
I believe
No.
mathematically you can't win, correct?
Well, it's 6 to
No.
5 with 2 left.
Yeah, I'm at
Oh,
6 and
shit.
3,
Yep.
and you're at 6 and 2. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
not right.
You sure?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm at 5 and 3. I'm sorry. I said I
Yeah.
was at 6 and 3.
Oh,
I'm
no,
at
you're
5
at
and 3.
5-3. Yep.
5-3. He's 6-2.
Yep.
I was like, I can't be at 9 and he's at 8. Oh yeah. 6 and 3. Sorry, 6 and 2, 5 and 3.
So I can scrub one. I can take a bye week.
Yeah, there you go. This one has been on my list and I haven't gotten to it yet because of all the negative exposure it had, and I feel like it hasn't shaken it off yet to me. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. More or less than 15 gigabytes.
Who goes first on this one?
Me.
Well, I mean,
I'm saying
I
less.
haven't written my 15 gigs.
I'm saying less than 15 on Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. But I'm not confident in this. This one could throw it on me because I gotta have him lose one and me get nothing else wrong for us to have a fun, close one here. But this one might throw it. Let's see. But I'm saying less than 15.
I can't even remember what the first one was.
Me neither.
Honest
is
to
the second
God.
one.
But yeah, I'm with you with the reviews on it. That was a painful release.
Surprising too, because great studio. The first one so well received. It actually came out. Forgot to talk about it in this week's episode before this, but the Chapter 1's getting a performance boost at the launch of Quest 3.
Oh, really?
So you're going to be able to play.
They using the super duper graphics,
super resolution probably, but it's going to be optimized for the Quest 3, which
nice.
Music to my ears.
15 gig.
Mm-hmm.
Shite. I'll say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't, whatever. Yeah, I'm saying more.
All right. It is less at 13.54. And that brings us tied for the last one.
6 and 3. 6 and 3.
And this may be interesting. You've talked about it quite a bit. Grid Legends. Now the question is, how well do you know how big it is? The target number is more or less than 25 gigs.
It is more than
25. It's more than 25.
Final answer for both?
I feel confident on this one.
Dude, is this a tiebreaker?
No. Well, this will make it tied.
This is tied right now. So
yeah.
if you're both going the same, then
no matter what, we're going to the finals,
more.
Huh? Or the overtime. All right, let's hear it though.
It is more. It is 30.98.
Oh, I thought 27 something.
I should have put it at 30. I feel like.
Ooh, if you would put it at 30, I would have been.
Yeah. All right.
But it's 7 and 3 was both of our final scores.
Yep.
How did we tie 2 weeks in a row?
Well, I got a tiebreaker now. I know that's crazy, right? You were and Stratus was like taking the lead here, and you came right back up.
That's the thing. It wasn't even the same questions.
No, it wasn't.
We ended up tied 2 weeks in a row. Thank goodness you had a tiebreaker plan. Somebody busted your balls. Who was that busted your balls?
I heard.
It was funny. They were like, "How
dare you?" Things. Yeah,
I heard it.
That was funny. He was like, "Come on." He goes, "What did you say? Rookie
mistake
or something?"
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, it's easy to make comments when you're not the one doing it, right?
Yeah. It's
all in good fun.
Game show 101.
All right, what's the tiebreaker here?
The tiebreaker. Let's see if we can do this. Among Us VR.
What happened? Oh no.
More or less than 2 gigs. The new update is not out yet. The new map is not out yet, so keep that in mind. For what that's worth. I don't know if that means anything.
Who goes?
I do, because you were even. Yeah, this is 11 technically, which I'm going to say it's less than 2 gigs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Final answer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's more.
Did you just get the win? Let's see.
No, I'm just being cocky and arrogant.
Okay.
I'm trying to use the psychology on you, and for all I know, it's like 1.6.
Well, I'm not
confident. But I honest to God thought the second Shu said Among Us, I'm like, isn't that like 4 gigs? I could have sworn it's not.
Oh, see, I instantly was like, I could see this one being a gig or something.
Or 2.8. But the thing was 2.
I'm glad that I was worried that we were gonna have the same answer for the overtime. I was like, uh-oh.
Where's the clap button?
So D Scruffle says less, Stratus says more.
Yes.
It is less at 0.45 gigs.
Oh, you
there
won.
It is.
0.45.
Yep.
Where the hell was I getting 4 from?
The problem with Among Us is when you happen and you just hear a bunch of it.
All right, I had to. We never use those buttons. I had to do it.
There you go.
The clap button.
Yeah, we have an applause button. Where's our applause?
You got the soundboard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We can.
Yeah, nice.
Where's our music?
The never-ending clapping.
You know.
Oh boy.
That's for our DJ mode.
Yeah, where's our music? There it is.
This is what we usually warm up.
Yeah, that's how we warm up, baby.
If
Nobody ever sees this.
If anyone wants
behind
to
the
see the
scenes.
behind the scenes, yeah, true story. Wicked annoying.
That'll
Yeah.
get you going.
We usually
Yep.
dance a whole bunch and we have
Yeah.
some fun. Welcome to Ruff Talk. Woo.
There's some footage of it.
Yeah, that'll be a Patreon
No
clip
one's
sometime.
seen it.
So I got the win.
You got
the win. Nice work.
Wow. That
You
was
got the
close.
win.
I had a second tiebreaker only because you're wearing the Forever Bowl t-shirts. I have Forever Bowl, more or less than 2 gigs.
This is just a bone. Doesn't matter.
Just
now,
doesn't
'cause,
matter. This is just
say
because
I
you're
say
wearing
less. I say less. You did a good one with Among Us because we differ on that, but I'm gonna
it.
say
Yeah,
less
yeah.
than 2 gigs.
3.45. It's more.
Whoa, we both would have lost.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there it is. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
No,
So
that
not
was a
bad
good one.
scores either.
No.
one.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't bad at all.
7 and 8.
We stole you for a while too, almost 40 minutes. On
Nice.
this one. I'm sorry. No, that's us. We can talk. Like we surprisingly. Give us a topic.
I'm not just gonna throw an answer.
Mhm.
Just for an answer, I want to like have a reason for it,
Well,
even if the reason's totally wrong.
you know, and not like we don't have a whole bunch of stuff coming up with award show, with showcase, then PAX East, and maybe even, you know, try to figure out GDC. I want to schedule a roundtable soon. Pick up a couple topics, get some people on here, have some
Have some fun.
fun. Yeah, a
Yeah.
roundtable would be
I'm
a
down.
fun time. But you know,
Yeah.
2 for 2. These games have been fun, so
Great. Thanks.
I'm
Appreciate it.
I'm excited.
I
to
can't
see.
wait to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the name of this one was Guess the Gigs.
Guess the gigs. The next one is going to be a little more involved. I'm excited about it if you'll have me back.
And what was the name of the first one, just so we can document it again? Guess the Gigs, and the first one was App Lab.
Was Obscure Connoisseur, the Obscure Connoisseur, because you had to be a connoisseur of VR games in order to know these obscure titles.
It's important we get the titles down, so you know. At first, as we're going through this, it's going to be nothing but new ones, but there's going to hit a point where it's time to revisit the old ones, you know. So important to get the names down for future reference.
Nope.
There
I'm
you
having
go.
fun. These are good.
And like we said at the start, if you played along, post your score in Discord and
Let
YouTube.
us know how good you did or didn't do.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean 7's going to be tough to beat. I think out of the 10. That's a pretty good score.
Yeah, both of us tied 2 weeks in a row, so you
Yeah.
always got to have a tiebreaker. Clearly,
Yep,
this might
gotta
be a
have it.
consistent theme. Wow, I'm shocked on that. But
Nice
thanks
work.
again. Thanks again for joining us, Shuzo. That was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Have a good one, guys.
Awesome. So again, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and we'll check you out on Wednesday with Edward from Mighty Coconut.
The coconut has risen.
Ciao, ciao.
See ya.